Hi, I'm Kurt Jacobson, the Fast and Furious Cook from www.fastandfuriouscook.com with another one of my original recipes. I grew up eating fried rice fairly often, even though there was no Asians in our family then. We loved it and had it at least once a month. Usually it was with shrimp, and I have a recipe on my blog, and we're going to change it up just a little. I'm going to do shrimp fried rice. You can use shrimp, you can use lobster, you can use pork, you can use chicken. All are good, or any combination. But one thing I'm going to change is, instead of the peanut oil today, I'm going to use my garlic infused olive oil to give it a nice little garlic flavor. So let's get started. We're going to move to the stove, but first I'm going to show you this nice little wok. This is not a fancy piece of equipment. And when you buy one of these, it usually gives you the instructions on how to keep it from rusting up. And for about 20 bucks, one of these should last you about a lifetime. And it's great for this sort of thing. So let's cook up some fried rice. Okay, let's get cooking this fried rice here. We're going to take this right up to about the highest heat I have. Get the pan over the heat. Get our oil in the pan. We use about half of it, the oil for the meat and vegetables part. We're going to start with our onions, and then we're going to add the shrimp, celery, and carrots last. Now, some of you might want to use something like a wooden spoon. Others are skilled in the flipping of these sort of things in a pan. The choice is yours. Either works just fine. I'm just going to give the onions about a minute to get a head start, and then the shrimp are going in. In they go. Let's bust them up, move them around. Now, if you're using cooked shrimp, you can add those towards the end, but these are raw. So in they go. We're going to get those just a little bit seared on every side, and then add the celery and carrots. Now, most home stoves don't get as hot as a Chinese restaurant stove, and I could use twice the BTUs as this, but it does work. I have seen those electric woks. I'm not impressed. All right, we're going to add our celery. Get that mixed in. This is a very fragrant dish with the shrimp added to it. Not near as fragrant as if you were using beef, pork, or chicken. And it's a lovely one-pan meal. Now, the important thing is you have your rice. Let's say you had rice the night before, or 2 nights ago, or 3 nights ago, and you knew you were going to have fried rice in the coming day or 2 or 3. So you cooked twice as much as you needed, so that when it comes time to cook dinner, now you have a meal that goes together in less than 20 minutes. And it's a one-pot meal at this point. So in goes our carrots. We'll give this about another 2 minutes, and then we'll remove it, set it aside, and start on the rice. Now, the seasoning of a wok is very important, and we're not talking salt and pepper and the spices. We're talking the oil burnt into the pan to keep it from sticking when you put food in it. This is pretty well seasoned, but if you follow the directions that come with these woks, you should be able to learn how to season yours real well. This is not the kind of pan you put in the sink and let soak. It will rust. And if it's properly seasoned, all it takes is a little bit of water and a scrub brush, and then you put it back on the stove after you've cleaned it and burn off any water, give it a little light coat of oil. Now this is ready to take off the stove, so we'll come back when it's time to put the rice in. Okay, now we're going to do the rice. We'll add the rest of the oil. And for this recipe, by the way, I have doubled it. So that instead of 2 cups to 2.5 cups of rice, I've got a little over 4 cups. So our oil is already hot because the pan didn't cool down. In goes the whole kit and caboodle. And bust that up with some sort of utensil, because this rice is sticky, and I really like using brown rice. For many years I used good old Uncle Ben's converted white rice, but brown rice is so much healthier, has more flavor, and it fries up real nice. So you want to bust up all these chunks like I'm doing with the flat end of the spoon. And we're going to cook this on high for about 3 or 4 minutes, stirring it pretty much constantly because this rice will burn pretty easy. And even though this is a pretty well seasoned pan, the rice does stick. And it's okay to burn it just a tad, it gives it a nice flavor. So you can see I got pretty much all the chunks busted up. Now we're just getting it good and heated up. That garlic oil infuses the rice with a lovely little hint of garlic. Goes great with this dish. In many cultures, they have their own fried rice dishes. When I was in Ecuador, I really enjoyed the fried rice there. That sometimes they call it Ecuadorian fried rice or captain's rice. Really good stuff. The Thai have their Thai fried rice, and Chinese, of course. And I'm thinking this dish probably developed out of a wise use of leftovers. You cook rice often, and sometimes you just build up a pile of leftover rice in the fridge, and what do? Well, you make fried rice. All right, so that's good enough. The rice is really hot. We're gonna take the veggies and shrimp, just toss them in there. We're gonna blend it all together nicely. Now, if you like egg in your fried rice, just whip it up like you were doing an omelet and fry the egg first. Set it off to the side to cool, and then slice it up in little dices or strips, however you want it. But some people making fried rice will actually crack it right into the rice spout now and stir it in and cook it with the rice. I prefer it in the pre-cooked style where you have nice visible chunks. Now everything's good and hot. It's just been 2 or 3 minutes. And it's time to add the soy sauce and finish this off. Now I'm using full strength soy sauce, but feel free to use the light sodium if you're watching your sodium. This is how you do this. You just pour that in, about a tablespoon or 2, depending on how much soy sauce you like. You can always add more later. Stir it in. And when it's good and brown and you can see the soy sauce has been blended in, cut the heat back to low, finish stirring it in, and it's time to eat. Now, as a main dish, this will probably feed 3 or 4 people, depending on if they're adults or not. And it's easily doubled or tripled. Okay, the fried rice is off the stove. This is one of my favorite one-pot meals. It's so fast, it's so easy, it tastes great, and it's pretty darn healthy too. All right, so we've made one of my favorite dishes, but I also want to tell you, if you like it a little bit spicy, throw some red pepper in with the vegetables and the meat when it's cooking, or you can even top it at the very end with a little bit of Sriracha hot sauce like I do. I hope you give this a try, and please leave your comments. Come see me again here at fastandfuriouscook.com. Hey, thanks for coming to my YouTube channel and checking out my cooking videos. But did you know I also have an e-cookbook on my blog, www.fastandfuriouscook.com. There you can get over 45 original recipes from me for under 10 bucks, such as Filipino chicken adobo, several salads and salad dressings, and several soups like my mushroom chowder. So I hope you have a chance to check it out, and I'll see you back here on YouTube. Thanks.